What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Sunday to all of you. Welcome to Pub Sports Radio's NFL Pub Hub. We have 8 top cappers giving out their best sides, totals, and player props. We move very quickly, and it's very enjoyable. We have Big Ragu getting us started. Spenny Penny Bombs. Big Ragu, our inaugural champion. Spenny Penny Bombs came second in season 2. Justin Mckelvie making his NFL Pub Hub debut. Then Flash coming to us from Costa Rica. The Nuke Worker making his NFL Pub Hub debut. Then we have Noli Nose, Kong's Clips, and LJ from H-Town tying it all together. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We have the Truth Teller in the house, my dude, NJ Striker, Wine Time Sports, Smoke and Mirrors. Smoke and Mirrors. Says Jet serving up a big old helping of hot ass this morning. Who ordered hot ass? Who ordered hot ass? Raymond Reichart in the house. Proof Bets, Viper NB, Tom Leach, Kenwood, Troy Torrance, Kingu, Nut Flush Allen, Lamont Williams. There's Justin Mckelvie making his NFL pop-up debut today. We have a great show. Key injuries for you guys. Malik Neighbors, out with the concussion, and Singletary expected to be out as well. Puts the Giants behind the 8 ball. Texans running back Joe Mixon ruled out with the ankle injury. Jonathan Taylor out. Anthony Richardson doubtful. So Joe Flacco expected to start. We'll go over all of those. COR in the house. Great to see you, Core. We've got a great show for you guys. I'm on Miami, New England, first half and full game under. Bills money line. I moved on that before the mass injuries were reported. I got Giants +6 before the injury, so a couple uncomfortable spots there. Steelers -2, Jaguars -3, Cardinals +7.5. That is my action, but we're not here for my action. We're here to cap together and see what these great guests have for their Sunday card and how they're getting paid in full today. So without further ado, please welcome our inaugural champion, our season 1 champion, top perennially in the top 5, an absolute monster. Currently 5th out of 20 cappers we've had on the show, 8-6 plus 1.5 units, coming to us from Ocala, Florida. Starting off with a bang, please welcome the Big Ragu to the show. Doc, how are you, my man?
What's going on? I'm not in SoCal today. I'm in Meta, Georgia.
Nice, man. Well, yeah. It sounds good. It looks good, and we're happy to have you, my man.
It's a beautiful day here, guys. Appreciate you having me on. So what we got going on today, guys? We're going to cash some tickets. Let's make some money. My football season so far has kind of been mediocre at best, right? So, and a lot of competitive numbers, a lot of small numbers. I think this week we get another friggin' 10 games that are 3 or less. So it's going to be an interesting board again this week. So we'll see what we can put together. Let's get some money.
Let's get that money. Yes, a lot of parity in NFL and in college football, as we saw yesterday. But let's get right to work here, my man. Ragu gets his card started at 1 p.m. Eastern with the Miami Dolphins at New England Patriots. We're at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. 65 Fahrenheit, sunny, 4 miles per hour is the weather. Mostert is ready to go. And it looks like Beckham Jr. making his debut this week. We have Jordan Poyer out right now, but some exciting stuff possibly for the Dolphins with a couple playmakers back in business. The Patriots, it's the Belichick era again. 11 people on the questionable list. We know that safety Jabril Peppers is out, and Sione Takataki knee not able to make his debut here. And then we have a raft of injuries, of questionable injuries, but it's just Duggar and Osborne were the only 2 who didn't practice, on Friday on at least a limited basis. So we also know that David Andrews is out, their center. We talked about that all week. He's, a big piece. And so starting tackle Caden Wallace also on injured reserve. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We're going to be using Pinnacle lines. We have Miami -1 at -113. They opened +1 at -110. So we've had a full point move towards Miami, which is, hard to fathom after what we've seen since Tua's been out of the lineup. 37% of the tickets and 43% of the cash is on Miami. Line moving in their direction. And on the total, we have 23% of tickets on the under, but 46% of cash. And I don't think I gave you guys the line history of that under. So let's just quickly move there as I've doubled up on that one. We have that at 36.5. I got a bad line, but I did beat the first half line. So it's, have to deal with it. Under 36.5 minus 111. We've gone up 1 point. Take it away, Ragu. Your first spot on the board.
Yeah.
A bum fight.
A bum fight for sure. We'll have a few bum fights today. That's for sure. You better believe it. But got my notes here. Did my capping. Got it all my breakdowns put together. So we know the big story is with the Miami side is Hundley's getting his second start and struggled in his first start. I think he definitely makes an improvement in his second start here. But Miami as a whole, this team has been struggling immensely, putting up like 8 points per game the last 3, averaging 3 points on the road. I know everything's short sample size because, we're young in the season. But, and they haven't yet to cover a number either. So here we are. It's sitting at 0-4 ATS. But, like I said, the upside is coming with the player improvements possibly. But I still think that the offense is going to struggle here, guys. I really do. I don't see a ton of improvement. I see a slight improvement. As we know, as a team goes by the quarterback. So, with Hundley coming in, getting the plays down, getting some familiarity with the players and stuff. And New England's nothing to write home about. We know that for a fact. But this seems to me, a game for New England that's been scoring about 20 points at home, giving up about 23. I still think, like you say, Belichick asked with the doubtfuls and the questionables and whatnot. But to me, the best player on the field, the best quarterback on the field is Jacoby. And you look at Miami, they lost to Will Levis last week, and I think Jacoby's a lot better than Will Levis is any day of the week. So I think New England is going to score some points here, guys. I think this is an opportunity for them to eclipse that number. I like the team total over 17.5 on the New England side, and I also like New England at a plus 100 for the game itself. So I'm going to double down on these shitty Patriots. And I think they'll be apt to score points here, guys. Not a ton, And the funny thing is, the total we're looking at 36. So, and that puts me in line with like a 20-point game for them. And you got to score 20 points to win in the NFL. If you don't score 20, you're not winning. But this game here, I think they get their 20. I think Miami falls, somewhere between 17 to 20 points also, but I think it's going to be close. It's going to be ugly, but New England, I think they sneak it out and they win by at least a field goal here.
We have some nice numbers for you on this mission of yours with this shitty Patriots team, as you call them. Patriots money line plus 108 at Pinnacle. Patriots team total over 17.5 at plus 104.
Yeah, I like the plus numbers because when I take the L's, it doesn't hurt as much.
I like it. I like where you stand. It makes sense from an X's and O's standpoint. I was shocked to see the line move towards the Dolphins, and it scared me very much. Scared me so much that but I did move on the unders first half and full game. I guess with leaning on or betting the Patriots team total over, do you have a lean towards the over in Dolphins Patriots?
Well, that was the thing. It's the numbers. I think the number's pretty sharp where it's at, to be honest with you. I think I can see the Dolphins putting up, like I say, 14, 17 points. Possibly 20 points. So, and then if one, I think it's like a turnover or two away from putting it on an over, possibly.
Yes, always at that number. Very dangerous. Shout out to everybody joining us. We have our inaugural champion, Big Ragu, 5th overall out of 20 cappers so far this year, getting us started, hitting leadoff with us. Londo, Chase J, Tops at 66, Slammy, Gravy Bets, Talk Sports with JT, Lucky Power, Abel A, Nasty Nate, The Truth Teller, Jermaine, J Cop, Tom Leach. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Nut Flush Allen. We move on to the second spot on the board for Ragu. 1 p.m. Eastern. We have the Indianapolis Colts, 2-2, 0-1 on the road. Jacksonville Jaguars, 0-4, 0-1 at home. We also are dealing with showers, 76 Fahrenheit showers, Everbank Stadium in Jacksonville, Florida. So Jonathan Taylor out. We know that Anthony Richardson is not expected to be available. So it's Flacco time again. You also have the injuries on defense. We know DeForest Buckner on IR, and then we have Kwity Paye and Kenny Moore, defensive end and cornerback, respectively, out. Braden Smith and Ryan Kelly hurt. Their tackle and center listed as questionable right now. A very, very tough spot here. But things have gotten a little bit better for the Jaguars and everybody on their questionable list, Ingram and Savage, most importantly. practice that's at some limited this week, so they all could be in the lineup. And the big part is that Josh Hines Allen has cleared concussion protocol. He is ready to go. I did move on the Jaguars last night. This opened up at 46. The total it's now at 45.5 on the spread. We have now a 3.5. Ooh, oh, I like to see that. That just moved to 3.5. Oh, I like to see that. Moved at 7:38 this morning to a 3.5. Wow. And then when we get to the cash flow, just 34% of the tickets are on the Jags, 47% of the cash, 60% of cash, 49% of 60% of tickets, 49% of cash on the over. Take it away, Ragu. Game 2 for you, Colts Jags.
Yeah, injuries are the big problem for the Colts here, guys. I don't think Joe Flacco gives a rat's ass about them not winning a game in every in Jag Stadium. Basically, they're 0-9 or 0-10, some stupid number like that. They haven't won there in a minute. But Joe Cool's not going to care about that. But the injuries are concerning. With the defensive end, the quarterback, the center is now listed as very questionable. No way. We lose AR, and then of course we lose Taylor, which is a big piece that offense runs through to kind of make their offense click. And when I look at the splits on Jags, I mean, Jags have been a horror show, 0-4, looking for their first win here. But I think it sets up very nicely for them in this particular spot for them to kind of put a nice game plan together for the offense. And hopefully the defense steps up in a little bit of an area. The thing with the Jags, I think the Colts are like they're like low 23rd in time of possession, so that kind of bodes well for the Jags. And I think this is a spot play for me only. I think just because of the injuries to the Colts, and maybe this is a somewhat of a get right game for Jacksonville finally to kind of get off the schneid. And I like the fact, like you said, the 3.5. I'm taking the Jags here on the spread. I'm going to be on the Jags to lay the number.
Did you want to pay?
Get me?
Do you want to pay for
3?
The 3 we can get you at -125 available market wide right now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll take the 3. I was going to lay the 3.5, but I'll take the 3 at -125.
-3 at -125.
Yeah.
That's
I think that total is a little high too. I'm not going to try to get cute and catch the total, but see, the total tells me there's going to be points by the Jags today. So, and that's been their issues, is putting points up on the board here. I mean, at home they struggle a little bit, and so don't the Colts. The Colts, they struggle away from the dome immensely, but I think the Jags, it's a big favor here for them for the home field, which they've been struggling at. So today is the day that the Jags get off the schneid and get some points on the board. So give me the -3 at -125.
I'm right with you. Troy Torrance, interesting question. How many times do you think the lines moved towards the home team to -3.5 over the past 2 seasons? Yeah. I would say rarely, obviously, by the question. Let's say 3 times. Yeah. Let's say 3 times through the 3 to 3.5. I'd love to hear the answer to that. We have a moneyline parlay, Jags Bears for Troy Torrance. We roll on with Big Ragu here. So Dougie Wise with that SG. With the same POD as well there. We roll on. Next up is Ravens Bengals. Is this one ever interesting? Bad news for the Bengals with Sheldon Rankins, who would be very, very, very helpful here. Very, very helpful here to have him in the lineup. He is not in the lineup. But, these teams are reasonably healthy. Hilton, McKinley, and Miles Murphy are expected to play here for the Bengals, and the Ravens are pretty healthy. This is a fascinating football game. This market has been moving at some books. Here, though, we have the +2.5 and -106 for Cincinnati, so 5 cents of movement there. There was times where this 2.5 got up to -114 and went -115. So it is still slightly juiced towards them. And then on the total here for this one, we have a 48.5. And, I talked about how the 50 was too high, and I still was afraid to bet the under. I was afraid to do it. Some wind at 11 miles per hour, but 82 Fahrenheit. I was just afraid to do it. It was on my radar all week, and I just never was able to pull the trigger. We have 22% of tickets, 34% of cash on the under in this one. 59% of tickets, but just 38% of cash on the Ravens. Feels like Bengals is sharp action, but I'm afraid of this sharp action. Take it away for us, Rigu. Ravens, Bengals.
Those were my exact thoughts on the total. This game screams over with these offenses. And in all reality, I mean, the Ravens are sitting 2-2, and the Bengals are sitting 1-3. But they're always like team 1A, 1B, next to Kansas City. But there's another team up the road from them, Pittsburgh, that's playing pretty hot football right now. So these two teams, one of these teams has got to step up. It feels like it's almost like a Baltimore spot per se, and I like back in Baltimore when they're at home. I don't have another hat to cut up today, so otherwise I would have probably done that. But yeah, to me, the game screams of over. We're looking at two teams that consistently score in the mid, 24 to 27 range. In their splits also. But I think that number is, if you look at the bets, like you were saying, I think you were saying like the higher number of bets and money was like on the over, but I think this is a reverse line move, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong on that.
It is. No, you're absolutely right.
I still love the under here, guys, even at 48.5. I would love that 49, but I think this is a sharp underplay, and you're right about the Cincinnati. It does feel sharper, but to me, the sharper play here is on the under, so I'm going to roll with that. If you can get me a 49, I'll take it. Juice. If not, I'll live with the 48.5.
I will take a look. Yeah, I mean, a divisional game to see a 50 pop up was too high. Yeah, it was too high, and I was still afraid to move on it.
And both of them are playing to the overs. Like they're both 3-1 to the over here. So that's going to be priced in regardless.
Yeah, without a doubt. The under 49 minus 115. Under
that'll 49. Work. Sign me up for that.
Minus 115 for Ragu. We roll on two more spots for Ragu, and then Spenny Penny Bombs joining us. Spenny currently second overall out of 20 cappers here on the show, and back from Greece as well, ready to cap. 4:05 p.m. Eastern, we have Las Vegas Raiders at Denver Broncos, Empower Field at Mile High, Denver, Colorado. 73 Fahrenheit, sunny, 8-mile-per-hour winds. Devontae Adams is out, with the hamstring injury. There's a lot of injuries here for these Raiders. Zamir White out, Trey Taylor, Michael Mayer out, Luke Masterson out. But the big question is, will Max Crosby be in the lineup? And we think that he is going to be in the lineup at this point. The Broncos are a very healthy group. Tyler Beatty is out, and Javonte Williams didn't look good until last week. Beatty was winning that job, and then Javonte Williams looked okay when Beatty went out. Let's talk about this spot here. Ragu's next spot on the board. This total is sitting right now at 36. It's minus 107 to the under. This got down to 35. This was 35 this morning. 35 this morning up until 7:45 this morning, and then it's climbing up. It's gone up a point, but it's still a point down from the opening line. And when we get to the point spread here for this one, here we go. We have Denver minus 2.5 at minus 120. That's come up from 1.5. So it's a big move towards the Broncos here. But I've heard a lot of people on the other side of this spot. 42% of the tickets and 63% of the cash on the Broncos. Just 15% of tickets and 28% of cash on the under. Take it away, Doc. Your next spot on the board, Raiders, Broncos.
I want more people to come on the Raiders side because I'm fading them today, guys. I'm fading for all the right reasons too. Injuries, drama, you name it, it's happened. And then we'll look at the other side. I mean, what has Denver done the past couple games? Well, let's see. They've been 6-point underdogs on the road and took out, a pretty good team in Tampa. Then they go to Jets. They embarrass Rodgers on the primetime game. Come away with a win on that one, outright winner. So you think, hey, they're trending in the right direction, coming back home to Mile High against the sorry Raiders. You know what? I like the way the team is going, and I'm looking for them to kind of amp up the offense here a little bit too. I don't care about Crosby. Yeah, I know he's the dog in the yard there and gets it done. But I have faith in Peyton and him and Nix are starting to click a little bit here, not turning the ball over, taking care of the football. And that's all they have to do in this spot here too, guys. So I was going to take an alternate line on the get a little greasy here with this play and take an alternate line on it. But I'm going to stick to the standard I'm going to stick to the 3 and not get too greedy. So I want to kind of build some units up here. So I think Denver wins this game going away.
Let's get you that 3 because there is a 2.5 at -120, a -3 at +103.
Yeah, I'll take that. I think they win by 6 or 7 today. I really do. I think I was going to take a -6 on an alt line, but matter of fact, you know what? I'm still going to do that. Give me the -3 and give me -6.
Let's give you the -6 as well. Pinnacle only giving you up to -5 at +146, but I can go over here.
Yeah, that's fine. Give me the Pinnacle numbers.
Okay, cool.
I'll stay with Pinnacle's offering a 5. Give me the 5.
-5 at +146.
Yeah, give me that one. I know 5 is a crazy number in football, but I'll take it. I think they win by at least 6 or 7 today.
You got it. Mally Mal rolling with you as well. A good place to be. So rocking with the Broncos is Ragu. Last spot on the board before we hear his teaser, we have Cowboys Steelers. This is our Sunday nighter. I can't wait. I'm already on the Steelers, but I have made an SGP with a very clean one at +260, just for $100, a little rec SGP to have in for us while we're live streaming this one. And it's just Fields touchdown, Steelers money line. Very, very, very simple at +260. Yeah. We have Steelers right now -2.5 at -115. They opened up at 2. I got in at 2. It's now at 2.5. This 2.5 got juiced up to -119 at a time, but right now it's just at that 115. And then from a total perspective, we have a 43.5. This has climbed up from 42. It did get up to 44.5 though, so it has come down. It is 44 at most books across the board. And our guy Justin Mckelvie will have boots on the ground in this game. What an incredible game to be at, man. I wish I was right there with you. On the spread, we have 30% of the tickets and 24% of the cash on the Steelers, 76% of the tickets and 74% cash on the over. Take it away, Ragu, my man.
Yeah, so we got another prime time. I mean, the default play for us is always 90% of the time is going to be on the under here, guys. But I'm going to take a little different approach here with this one here. We know the injuries, the big injuries on the Dallas side on the defense. And Pittsburgh is already like a number 2 in the league at time of possession and controlling the clock. And I think this is just going to create some opportunities for Fields downfield. And they're a little weak on the backside too, Dallas is, if I'm not mistaken, too. So they got a little bit to deal with back there. So that's going to give, in my book, it's going to give Fields a lot of opportunities. Now, not to take nothing away from Dallas, they're ranked 29th in time of possession, but they're real efficient about putting points up. But they have to deal with the Steelers defense, which is giving up about 10 points a game at home, and they're real efficient over there too. So I think this is going to be more of a ball control style game plan to expose the weakness of Dallas, chew clock up, make plays downfield. Not big plays, but just, like I say, just keep the game in control and time of possession on their side. And I think if they control the ball for 30 to 35 minutes, I think Pittsburgh is very live here to come away with a pretty decent win. But I think they do it in a lower scoring type fashion. So I'm going to I think the number is a little too high for Pittsburgh at 23.5 because of the game plan, per my thinking. I like under 23.5 for team total Pittsburgh. And I like the full game under 44.
Let's get that for you. First off, under 44 -109. That's available right now at Pinnacle. Under 44 -109. And then the Steelers team total under right now. Oh, that's too high there. They're giving me a 21.5 there. What are you getting at your book?
Well, I got a DraftKings 23.5, but that's
okay. Perfect. 23.5. Let me just see what they're offering here. And under 23.5 here at -115. What's yours?
Yeah, it was. I got -109 earlier, but that's so far. You give me whatever show purpose. It don't matter. 15's fine. Right.
You got it. Team total under 23.5 -115. And then your patented show closing.
Oh, man. I've yet to hit one. I've been on twice, and I got 2 L's, which is very rare. Teasers, they're supposed to be sucker bets, but the way I like to play them, they're usually pretty solid, usually a little bit better than 50% anyways. But, yeah, man, I'm gonna go to do the California Connection tease today. I think the Rams are live in that game, even though the open shows different and the market moves or what have you. But I think the Rams are very live there. So I think there's a 3 hanging on that one, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so tease me up the Rams at 9. And I'm going to take your 49ers at the house, laying the 1.5 or whatever it is over there. So I'm going to take the Rams and the Niners in a 2-teamer.
Yeah, there's a lot of 7s, so we can give you -1 on the Niners.
So far, all these teasers that I've had that all the team had to do was win, they haven't won the game, man. Somebody win a fucking game today at home.
Doc, thank you so much for leading off for us here. Doc's on the Patriots money line at +108. Patriots team total over 17.5 +104. He's on the Jaguars -3 at -125. The under 49 at -115. And Baltimore, Cincinnati. Broncos -3 at +103. Broncos -5 at +146. He's on the under 44. -109 in our Sunday night live stream, Cowboys Steelers, and he's on the team total under 23.5 -115. His teasers, Rams +9 and Niners -1. Raghu, thank you so much for making time for us. Please support our guy Doc on X at Big Raghu 62.
Hey, one more thing, Jimmy. If I make it home in time, which I plan on to, I'll see you on the stream tonight.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. And shout out to Who Bangin' Sports Talk. I know you do great work over with Who Bangin', with our brothers at Who Bangin'. So shout out to you and to Who Bangin'. Thank you for rocking with us, Raghu, my man.
Peace out.
There he is. We go from Florida and we head up to Toronto for our next guest. Currently ranked 2nd. He's only made 1 appearance on our show. 7-5 plus 3.5 units back from a vacation with the wife in Greece. Please welcome Mr. Spenny Pennybombs to the program. Spenny, how are you, my man?
How we doing, Jimmy? How we doing?
Doing great, Spenny. Let's get right to work here. Colts, Jaguars. We've already set this one up, so all we need to hear is how you're getting paid.
Yeah, this should be a good game. Raghu touched on a couple of spots there with the Jags, and I think them being able to put up some points here today. I think the same thing. I think the Jags should be able to put up some points here today, move the ball around. With me, I like to take a spot with the player props here, so I like Christian Kirk over 51.5 receiving yards at -110. I also took a shot on the 75 plus receiving yards at +230. And I also took a shot with his touchdown at +180 as well. Christian Kirk's had over 20 receptions and over 200 yards in his last 4 games against the Colts with 4 touchdowns. And for the last 2 games, he's had 15 catches for 140 yards and a touchdown. So the first couple of games in the season, they weren't really getting them the ball. The last couple of games, Lawrence has been trying to feed his guy in Christian Kirk here. Obviously, he was outgained last week by Thomas, but still had the most targets, getting the most targets on the team consistently right now. So, and especially against a Colts secondary that's giving up over 163 yards per game to wideouts and a touchdown. I think this is a great spot for Kirk to bounce back and the Jags to bounce back here, put up some points against this Colts, weak secondary.
He's looked better every single game after getting off to a very slow start. Look better, stronger, and more quality. They look like they have a legitimate 1-2 on the outside now. So I get it. I absolutely get it. So Spenny hammering Christian Kirk props to get started. Next up is Raiders, Broncos, another game that we've already set up. So we just need to hear how you're getting paid.
Yeah, another spot here, and again, I kind of agree with Raghu. I don't believe in the Raiders. I don't, especially with some of their injuries they have here. Crosby's supposed to be in; he's expected to play, but again, that Raiders defense is nothing special. I think Denver's defense has stepped up a hell of a lot more this year, especially in the run game. We already knew that their secondary was good with all the players that they had this year. Knicks is up and down. I still think that they're going to utilize their running backs a little bit more here. We talked about it earlier. Batty's out. Javonte Williams looked good last week. I like him again this week. He's going to be the main back again this week here. The Raiders, they're giving up, what is it here? They're one of the league's worst, I think the second worst rush D in the league. They're giving up the 3rd most yards per carry to running backs this year. I think that Javonte Williams is involved in the passing game and in the running game here. So I took a shot with the rush and receiving. So Williams over 73.5 rushing and receiving yards combined at -115. And then I also took a shot on his 100+ rushing and receiving combination at +300. Again, just another spot where I think they can feed him, give him the ball, close to 20 times today, let him, run the ball as many times as he needs to, get his, feet wet, just let him handle the ball a little bit more. Let him be the main back, and that's what he needs, right? And then he's good in the passing game as well. 2 to 3 catches for 20, 30 yards. It's perfect. I'm happy with that all day long.
He looked great last game, and I was calling him out all season. So he finally stepped up, and with Beatty not competing with them, hopefully he gets a lot of run today. Moved on, Javonte Williams over 73.5 rushing receiving, minus 115, 100 plus rushing receiving at plus 300. My dude in the house with his parlay of the day. Thank you for sharing that with us. Respect to our guy, my dude. Also, we're going to have our friend Mel going to have boots on the ground in this football game, Raiders, Broncos. She's on Broncos. Ragu is on the Broncos. All right, let's roll on. Next spot on the board, 4:05 p.m. Eastern. We have Cardinals, 49ers, Levi Stadium, Santa Clara, California. The weather is just ridiculous. I've never in my life written 94 Fahrenheit for a game in Santa Clara. I was like, well, if it's 94, what's it in San Francisco? Just crazy hot there. It's not hot in Seattle. It's not that hot in LA. It's ridiculously hot in the Bay Area today. So we have Isaiah Adams, alignment out, Garrett Williams, a cornerback out as well, and Christian Jones, offensive lineman, who they need, and Prater with the left knee injury, questionable. I did move on the cards, did move on them myself yesterday, last night. And then we have, and Trey McBride downgraded to questionable with the rib injury now. It's a rib injury situation for him. Prater did return to practice, by the way. Then we have for the 49ers, Fred Warner, questionable. Now, Kittle and Warner were at practice on a limited basis on Friday, so we think that they're both going to play, but they're listed on the report. Let's get into the line history quickly here for the 49ers spot. It's 7.5 right now at Pinnacle, but 7's in other spots. You can get the plus 7.5 on Arizona at minus 113. So only 4 cents of movement since that opening line. And I know you see 7's at other books. This total is at 49 minus 112 to the under. This did get up to 50 for a little while. Looked like it might go up to 50.5 as well. And then cash wise for this one, we have 44% of the tickets, 48% of cash on the Cardinals, 78% of tickets, and 68% of the cash here on the over 49. And I got the plus 7.5 at minus 114 last night. Take it away, Spenny. Cards, Niners.
Yeah, I'm with you on the side wise. I like the Cards. I do think that 7.5 points was too much. I took it earlier as well. I think that the Cards can, be involved in this game or at least keep it tight late. But I do think that San Francisco is going to control this game from start to finish. Still, I still think that they're going to be in the lead most of the time and controlling the clock and running the ball down Arizona's throat. Mason's been great for them. Their O-line still looks great. He's had over 100 rush yards in 3 of his 4 starts that he's played in this year. He's going against another weak defense here in Arizona and their rush D, giving up again the 3rd most rush yards to running backs in the league so far this year. So I think this is a spot where they're going to maybe run the ball 20-25 times with Mason again today. So over 86.5 rush yards at minus 110 and the 100 plus at plus 160 for Mason. Again, just another spot where I think 49ers should control the clock most of the game, try and run the ball down their throats and just get away with the win here in Arizona against Arizona at home. So just feed Mason and let the O-line do their thing.
You are locked. Mason over 86.5 rush yards, minus 110, 100 plus at plus 160. Your last spot on the board, Packers, Rams, SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. Of course, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua out. Laryl Murchison on the defensive end out, but they're getting much healthier, finally getting much healthier. For the Packers, we heard the Dubs missing practice, 1-game suspension, or late for practice or whatever's going on with Dubs, but he is out. Christian Watson also out with the ankle injury, and they're missing Devontae Wyatt, defensive lineman. And then they have a litany of questionables. Most important, of course, is Jair Alexander and Carrington Valentine, who missed last week's game at corner. You got Elgin Jenkins with the knee injury on the offensive line, and Jordan Morgan as well. So on the offensive line. So a lot of questionables there for these Packers. This total is at 49.5, juiced to the under, but this opened at 46. This has just climbed and climbed and climbed all week. And then from a spread perspective, this is a 3 at minus 105. This opened up at 3.5 and dropped to 3. I came close to moving on them. We heard Ragu using them on a teaser leg. And when we get to the cash flow, we have 41% of the tickets and 58% of the cash on the Rams, 76% of the tickets and 85% cash on the over. Take it away, Spenny.
Yeah, I don't see how the Ram, like at home, maybe, being in LA, I just don't see, with all the injuries and especially to their offense, I just don't see how they would be able to keep up and put enough points up on the board. Who they have Jair Alexander, who's going to, lock down whoever's going to be their main, which is probably going to be DeMarcus Robinson as their main, wide receiver threat. Like, I just don't see what the Rams are going to be able to do. I honestly think that the under is a great spot. I didn't play it, but I think that the under would be a great spot in this game. I think Green Bay's just going to run the ball, control the clock, run the ball down their throat. Jacobs has looked great this year. He's averaging over 4.5 yards per carry this year. Another great spot against the Rams. I think they're second worst rush D in the league, giving up the 6th most points fantasy wise to running backs this year. It's just another spot where, Jacobs has looked great. Feed him the ball, run the clock down, just get the win here against the Rams. I don't think the Packers need to go crazy and do too much here. So give me the over 67.5 rush yards for Jacobs at minus 110. And I took a shot at the 80 plus rush yards at plus 146 as well. I just, again, think they're just going to feed Jacobs, give him 20 plus rushes and let him do his thing today.
Can you give me those numbers once again, my man?
Yeah. Over 67.5 rush yards at minus 110.
Okay.
And 80 plus rush yards at plus 146.
146. You are locked and loaded. Spenny's made one appearance on this show. He came second in season 2, and he was in the top 5 for most of season 3 as well, until a bad run in the playoffs. But he's been excellent on this show. Starting out the year second right now, the 20 cappers, 7-5 plus 3.5 units. He's on Christian Kirk over 51.5 receiving yards, 75 plus at plus 230 and anytime touchdown plus 180. Ski Prophet, happy belated to you, my man. I love our birthdays at the same weekend, man. I know you were doing it up nice. Happy belated to you, my guy, as well. Javonte Williams over 73.5 rushing receiving and 100 plus rushing receiving at plus 300. Mason over 86.5 rushing and 100 or more at plus 160. And Jacobs over 67.5 rush yards and over 80 or more at plus 146. Spenny puts out all of his action on X. He is such a great follow and a great friend, and we have Breeders' Cup coming up, and I'm so excited to rock with him. Please support our guy Spenny on X right now. If you can, take a second and support our guy, putting his handle here in the chat. Spenny, thank you so much for rocking with us. Any last words for the Cappers supporting the show?
Yeah, just appreciate seeing you guys out here every single weekend. It looks like, we have tons of people in here every weekend watching this show. We just appreciate everybody coming out, spend their Sundays with us and trying to get that cash together. So let's get out there and beat the bookies. Let's go, boys.
There he is, Mr. Bombs himself. Our next guest making his NFL Pub Hub debut, richly deserved for our next capper, coming to us from Atlanta. Please welcome Justin Mckelvie to the show.
Stacks.
Justin, what's good, man? How are you?
Pretty good. How you? You can hear me?
Yeah, man, you sound good. Justin, making your NFL Pub Hub debut. It is great to have you here on the program, man. Looking forward for a bigger audience to watch you work, and that's what you will have here on NFL Pub Hub. It's going to be fun, and I'm thankful. Let's rock.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, man, richly deserved. Love having you on here. Let's rock. Bills Texans Energy Stadium in Houston, Texas. Man, do we have issues for the Bills? And I'm on them on the money line. Khalil Shakir out with the ankle injury. Taylor Rapp not coming back from the concussion. Ed Oliver, defensive tackle, out with a hamstring injury to an already hurting defensive front that doesn't have Von Miller for the next 4 games. You have Terrell Bernard questionable now with the pectoral, and Taron Johnson with the form. I'd love to hear that Terrell Bernard is going to be in, because we know that Matt Milano, of course, is out as well. But the Texans dealing with issues as well. Joe Mixon out with the ankle injury. Derek Barnett, defensive end, and defensive end Jerry Hughes out. So that hurts them. Can Damian Pierce help Cam Akers and play? He's day-to-day with the hamstring injury. But you also have Titus Howard with a hamstring injury, offensive tackle, who they're hoping is going to play. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We have the Buffalo Bills right now +1 at -102. They opened up at -1 at -102. There's been a move slightly towards the Texans, but you could say that when this line came out, people thought this line was screaming that the Bills were extremely live in this game. So we have this total opening up at 46.5, now at 47.5. And when we get to the cash flow here for the first spot on Justin McKelvie's board, we have 28% of the tickets and 28% of the cash on the Texans, 65% of the tickets and 78% of cash on the over. Take it away, Justin. The floor is yours. Bills, Texans.
Appreciate it. Jim, real quick, I don't know how you do this watching the game. This Jets game is changing my whole morning. I just wanted to say that real quick. But it just threw me off seeing Rodgers get hurt. But anyway, I'm on CJ Stroud over 9.5 rushing yards. He hit this line over 3 of the last 4 games. The Bills is his 3rd worst rushing defense against the quarterbacks. I expect with everything going on between Diggs, between Allen, between Houston, I'm not getting on the side. I'm not getting on the over and under. I'm going to focus on Stroud. I know he's going to focus on Diggs. He's going to rush. He's going to run. They're going to blitz him. 10 yards. You're going to give me 10 yards -113. Sign me up.
Stroud over 9.5 rush yards at -113 for.
And all these odds, all these odds I'm about to give you is all on Bet Rivers right now.
Perfect. Available right now. Perfect. I love that. That works great with us. Let's roll on to the next spot on the board for you, Justin. 4:05 p.m. Eastern. We have Raiders, Broncos, Empower Field at Mile High, Denver, Colorado. We've already heard Ragu bullish on the Denver Broncos, but not the whole chat. There was chat on the other side as well. Chat looking at the Raiders. It was a mixed group here, but bullish was Mel, who's going to be at the game, and Ragu, who moved on the alt line as well as the -3. Take it away, Justin. How you moving on Raiders Broncos?
I'm dealing with Brock Bowers. That's what I'm focusing on. I love hearing Ragu, everybody on the Broncos. That helps me out. I love to hear that. I'm going with Brock Bowers over 49.5 receiving yards at +110. If you don't want to go for the plus money, his actual yards was like 47, 45.5. I owe everything for plus money. I chase plus money. That's how I give it up. Y'all can see my record. That's neither one of them first 2 plays is stacks. I got 2 stacks for y'all. But was Patrick Surtain shutting down the number 2? Whoever he is, I don't even know his name. Adams ain't going to be there. So whoever the number 2 is now the number 1. So Surtain going to shut him down. Who else going to get the yards? Somebody got to get some yards. Somebody. I like Brock Bowers. And y'all know I'm a Georgia fan. I follow Brock Bowers. He a monster. He going to be the tight end of the league. Best tight end in the league. Grunt, I like Brock. 49.5. I lied in quietly, though. That's what I'm on.
Bowers over 49.5 yards receiving at +110 for Justin McKelvie. Game 3 here on the board for Justin. Packers, Rams, SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. We've set this one up already. So how you getting paid on it, Justin?
Both of these is going to be the stacks play of the day. Stacks play of the day, number 1, is going to be the Packers to score first and to win. +160 at Bet Rivers right now. My whole thing is got to have a game script. Packers going to win this game. I don't know if it's going to be by 1 or 21. Packers going to win this game. I expect if they get the coin toss, I expect them to take it, say they want the ball, go down the field, score something. I don't care about the politics of the game. They're going to score first. They're going to win. +160. How can you not?
Packers,
second one.
Oh, yeah. The second one in this Packers game, or do we move to the next one?
No, the second one's in the Packers game, too.
Okay, go. Roll.
Shout out, Spenny. You done said everything for me, so I ain't got to go into all these notes that I got. But I got Josh Jacobs over 99.5 rushing and receiving, +205. Stacks play today, 202. Stacks play today, too. That's what I'm on. I love it. Spenny broke it down probably better than all these notes. the whole game plan. I'm loving the Packers. My script is going to be everything Packers, everything Josh Jacobs, dinking dunks, running, rushing. He's going to probably get a touchdown. I love it.
Jacobs over 95.5 rushing receiving at plus 205. Packers score first and win. Those are the back-to-back stacks plays of the day. We'll play the video for those spots as we close you out, my man, because we all love hearing it, dude.
Appreciate it.
Then we close shop at the game that you will be in person for this evening. Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. There's a thunder shower in the forecast. We're not sure when it's going to hit or how it's going to hit. Cowboys, Steelers here. We've already talked about, and I forgot to hit the injuries, and I know that our guy Ragu did. They think that Trayvon Diggs will play today at corner for the Cowboys, but Micah Parsons out, and Brandon Cooks out as well. And for the Steelers, Alex Highsmith out, and Jalen Warren and Cordero Patterson out as well. Michael Pruitt, a tight end, out as well there. Take it away for us here, our Sunday nighters. So this is great. You give us fodder to talk about when we have our live stream this evening. Justin, take it away. Cowboys, Steelers.
In the intro, you had said from Atlanta. I'm actually from Augusta, Georgia, and now I'm living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
But I will have boots on the ground. I'm leaving shortly after here, and I'm all over Najee. Oh, yeah, I hate the Steelers. I hate Pittsburgh, everything. I hate the Pirates, I hate the Steelers, I hate the Penguins. I love Peyton. Not today. I'm on Najee Harris anytime. It's going to be a parlay, Jimmy.
All right.
The same game parlay with Najee Harris. It's going to be Najee Harris anytime touchdown. Okay. Parlay with Najee Harris over 89.5 rushing and receiving yards. And that's plus 195 at Bet Rivers right now.
Plus 195 here for Harris. Anytime touchdown, Harris over 89.5 rushing receiving. You got anything else in this one?
No, that's all I got. Well, no, I'm going to get on the Steelers. I'm hoping to get on them live. I hate betting the Steelers. I hate everything to do with them. I wanted to go there with a Cowboys jersey and scream Cowboys, but I can't because I don't think they're going to win. The weather's going to change everything. It's going back Najee. So I'm either going to move on the money line. I could probably get a plus minus 129 because I don't expect the Cowboys to score first. Or maybe I'll get on the Steelers score first. However, I'm back to Steelers, but nothing official yet.
Justin, it's great to have you here.
Real quick.
Yeah, my man.
I ain't got no breakdown. I don't want to hold you up. I got a bonus for y'all. Y'all got to fuck with the ladies. We're going to go with the Aces Liberty over 166.5. Bet it, forget it. See y'all tomorrow. Appreciate you, Jim.
Appreciate you. Stacks in the house. Justin McKelvie, CJ Stroud over 9.5 rush yards. Brock Bowers over 49.5 receiving yards at plus 110. Packers score first and win at plus 160. Jacobs over 95.5 rushing receiving at plus 205. And then he's got Najee Harris anytime touchdown and Harris over 89.5 rushing receiving together at plus 195. Those are all available. Those lines available right now at Bet Rivers. And you can only get Justin's action right here. Man, he's not on social media. You can't find him. He's right here if you're looking. And we're really proud and thankful to have him rocking with us. So Justin McKelvie, his NFL Pub Hub debut. And we also have another NFL Pub Hub debut coming up in a little bit, which we're really excited about. Our next guest was top 5 all year last year. I should have pulled it out. I meant to pull. I believe he finished 3rd or 4th. He was excellent all season long. He waits until now to pounce on NFL. He waited the first 3 weeks. He joined us last week, went 2-2, down 0.23 units. But this man cashes, whether it is our football or the European football. Please welcome from San Jose, or from Escazú, not San Jose, it's shithole. In Escazú, the Beverly Hills of Costa Rica. Our next guest coming to us from BetUS. Please welcome Flash. How's Flash? How are you?
Is that Beverly Hills or Hillbilly?
It's Beverly Hills.
How unlucky was we last week as well? Over 36.5, and he misses the extra point. It was like the difference between 3-1 and 2-2 is absolutely massive. By the way, what about this week? every single game, barring about 2 or 3, is basically a flip of a coin. It's like under 3 points. It's sucking us in. I think we've got to look a little bit left field, or you go with low-hanging fruit.
Well, let's get started because you have a fascinating card here, and you start with a tricky football game here. Baltimore Ravens at Cincinnati Bengals, Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio, 82 Fahrenheit, sunny, 11 miles per hour. We've already set this one all up with Big Ragu. Doc is on the under 49 in this one. Take it away for us, Flash. Your thoughts, how you getting paid in Ravens Bengals?
For me, it's all about the Ravens. You know, I don't like the Ravens, but I can't let my emotion get in the way. I thought the first half against the Bills is the best performance I've seen from any team at any game this season. Misdirection was off the charts. And then they go in against the Bengals, who, as we said last week, we could only be with the Bengals on team total because they can't stop anybody. They can't stop run. They can't stop pass. They don't get no pressure. So again, I think that who's gonna like go with either Flowers or Henry or Jackson, or it's just the list is endless. The options. For me, the Ravens stamp their authority all over it. Cannot believe that it's under a field goal. I've got them actually in a money line parlay as well, coming on from the Lions last Monday. But it's all about the Ravens being too strong for the Bengals. I just don't know how the Bengals are going to stop. The misdirection is going to be off the charts. It's all. I'm so confident in the Ravens today being. I don't even want to say stamp their authority, but you know they're minus 145 to win the AFC North. Minus 145, the Ravens. If that's not a future, I don't know what is.
And they're only minus 130 here on the money line.
I know.
You can get the minus 2.5 at minus 102. How do you want to make this official here for show record keeping purposes?
I'll go with I've got them both anyway. For you, I don't mind whatever one you toss the coin. I think they win by more than. I think they win by at least a field goal, but that's only because obviously I think the Bengals will get junk yardage, junk points, maybe late on. But listen, 130 money line, I think is a steal.
Baltimore minus 130 on the money line. We roll into Bills Texans. I'm very concerned. You know, the injury report for the Texans made me less concerned. But
what about the Castigos? That's the Buffalo's number one weapon. And you have to put any type of pressure on that Texans O-line, and they're going back 10 yards. It's just time after time after time. It's the same people. You target it. It's almost it's got to be in your game plan. When you look at the playbook, it's like, right, let's go and fret on here, move them around the side, and they will grab, and the Castigos will come flying out. It's flag central. For me, the Bills are far better than the Texans, and I'm more than happy with the money line now at like plus 105 or something. I'm more than happy to tell you I took minus 119 on Wednesday evening.
I took minus 112 on Tuesday evening. So I'm in the exact same boat as you. Plus 105 available right now for the Bills on the
Don't
money
complicate
line.
it, Jimmy. They're a different class.
Look, I think so too. I just, the Khalil Shakir taking Oliver and Von Miller off of the defense. I'm just a little uncomfortable, a little nervous. I mean, how can you be that confident going into Energy Stadium to play Stroud? I'm just a little uncomfortable. But I
understand that, but it was only last week prior to the Ravens that we were saying that the Bills were 4-0 and they had 9 different options, and obviously Josh Allen's legs, and then we lose a couple, and everyone goes, "Oh, that makes it." We're down to 7 options. So, and the Texans can't stop anyone. Listen, they scraped home last week against the Jags. I watched every minute. I was on the Texans for the last leg of a parlay, and I got out and ran around the garden thinking there's no way I should have won that game.
No, I mean the payback to Stephon Diggs was part of the script or the storyline that I did like. I do think that Allen McDermott care about beating him here today and showing him. So that pushed me there as well.
They turned the game on the head against the Ravens. I mean, the Ravens were unbelievable. And the Bills were obviously below average first half. But if they don't do that trick play and go down the field and score, it's 21-17 and all momentum is with the Bills. They actually showed sometimes when you lose, you can actually win. And I felt that they were totally outplayed, yet without that trick play against the Ravens, they would have been back in the game and it was just toss of a coin on who wins. So, listen, they don't get down about being behind. I think they've got plenty. And if they're in front, well, we know they are probably the best front runners.
No, I love it. I do prefer when Rosie Perez says sometimes when you lose, you can actually win, but I do like hearing it from you as well. Not quite as much as young Rosie Perez. Let's move on to your next spot on the board, Flash, because this is a very key spot for you. You are tying this bet into a 6-point teaser and a money line parlay. So we're going to start with the anchor here, and then we're going to go into each of the spots that you are tying with this anchor. Giants, Seahawks, Lumen Field in Seattle, Washington, 62 Fahrenheit, sunny, 4 miles per hour. Malik Neighbors in concussion protocol. He is out. Devin Singletary, we don't expect him in the lineup. Doubtful out. Now, if you are on the Giants, you hope that Jackson and Andrew Phillips will be in the lineup. They're, dealing with injuries. They didn't play last week. And then for the Seahawks, their injury report did get a little smaller as the week went on, but their first-round pick, Byron Murphy, he is out. Nose tackle Cameron Young out. And then Mafe and Julian Love. Mafe was limited participant on Friday, and Love was a full participant. So they're going to be in the lineup. So let's get into the line history. We haven't talked about this one yet. We have, and I am uncomfortably on the Giants from Tuesday. 43.5. I knew that Neighbors was going to be out. I was okay with that, but the injuries list, the Bradford, I just didn't have in my cap, and I'm Singletary. That's Bradford. The Singletary. I'm very uncomfortable with it. So this total's gone from 43.5 down to 42.5. Let's get to the side here for the anchor for our guy Flash's teaser and money line parlay. Now the Giants are at +7. They opened up at +6. They did get to +7.5 though yesterday at noon. Now they're back at +7 at -113. But we've had a 1-point move towards the Seattle Seahawks. And when we get to the cash flow here, we have 67% of the tickets and 86% of the cash on the Seahawks, 82% tickets, 81% cash on the over. Take it away, Flash.
I think they're underrated sleepers, the Seahawks. I think they're so balanced. I think Geno is not getting the credit that he actually deserves. They're going up against the banged-up Giants. And when we talk about banged up, we're talking about their number one and number two weapons. And all I want them to do is win the game at home. So it couldn't be a better spot for me on the Seahawks. I mean, the 6-point teaser means that I'm giving up -1. I think that they win this comfortably. And the problem is with going 7.5 is you need to be up 15 going into the final 3-4 minutes of the game, because otherwise that hook will kill you if they give up the garbage touchdown. I'm really impressed with the Seahawks. Really impressed. I think they're hungry. I think they're athletic. I think they've got different options. I think they run, they pass. I mean, Geno is sort of growing into it, and he did great last year. I think they're an all-round organization that I wouldn't want to be taking on at this moment, and I certainly wouldn't want to be going against them with the Giants.
So you have a 6-point teaser and a money line parlay. We're going to start with the 6-point teaser. Cardinals, Niners, Levi Stadium, Santa Clara, California. Hot in Santa Clara. Hottest day I've ever written down. 94 Fahrenheit, mostly sunny, 4 miles per hour. We've already set this one up, Flash. So take it away. What are you adding to Seattle in the 6-point teaser?
Yes, obviously the 49ers have only got to just win the game for me. I think that Kyler Murray is going to be on his toes. I was tempted to go with Kyler Murray over 30 yards rushing, because I think he's going to be absolutely moved off that pedestal. Right, okay, the O-line are not going to protect Murray, that is for sure. I think I was going to go -7 with the 49ers, and I thought, no, I'll just go money line, and I'll go with the teaser. I think the 49ers are just going to have their way on both sides of the ball. I don't think they're going to... The defense for the Cards can't stop absolutely anyone. We've seen Brock Purdy now going into third favorite for MVP because he's got so many different options. I don't see him getting any pressure from the Arizona D. I don't see the Arizona O. So really, my 49ers selections are by default of the Cardinals being on the road I just don't see how they do it. And the city over 49, that might be 70% 49ers points.
You got it locked. Your 6-point teaser, Seahawks -1, 49ers -1. Then we're using the Seattle Seahawks money line on a money line parlay in a game that we haven't spoken about yet. 1 p.m. Eastern, Carolina Panthers 1-3, 1-1 on the road at the Chicago Bears 2-2, but undefeated at Soldier Field in Chicago, Illinois, 71 Fahrenheit, sunny 13-mile-per-hour winds. The injuries just keep mounting for the Panthers. Josie Jewell, a linebacker, Shaq Thompson, we know he's now done for the season, and their center, Andrew Rame, out with a concussion, all out. Now, Shai Tuttle with the foot injury, defensive tackle, is important here. So is Dane Jackson. But the most important person on this questionable list is Robert Hunt. These Panthers continually were graded out very strong on the offensive line, and he is a big, big reason why. The Bears don't have defensive back Terrell Smith, but they expect to have Tevin Jenkins in the lineup. The offensive lineman is listed here as questionable. Let's get into the line history here for this spot. We have these Chicago Bears right now -4 at -106. They opened up -4.5, so we had a half-point move towards the Panthers. We saw 3.5 all week, which is I was very surprised to see this line put out the way it was. Got me off of the Bears. I planned to be on the Bears this week, but it was just such a fishy line. This total just been dropping and dropping and dropping. Opened up at 43, now all the way down to 40.5, and it's heavily juiced to the under. Let's get to the cash flow for the Bears game. We have 60% of the tickets, 67% of the cash on the Chicago Bears. You have 82% of tickets and 64% cash on the over. Take it away for us here, Flash, your money line parlay, starting with the Seattle Seahawks, and you are adding whom to it?
The Bears all day long. Welcome to the real world, Panthers. This is a proper D, and Dalton's going to be on his ass all game. The Panthers last week, they just played. Basically, when they played against the Raiders were absolutely trash, and it was a coming out game, and obviously everything's fresh. You can't really prepare for it. Then obviously they play against the Bengals, who are only offense. And now you've got the Chicago Bears against at home. I think Keller Robinson's going to have an absolute field day against this mob. But again, I don't see them getting pressure, but I see the sacks and Dalton being in trouble from very, very early on. The under 40 could well be. This could easily be like a 20-10 type of game. But I don't see the Panthers getting enough points, and that's where I went all the way. And I went, don't worry about the field goal. Don't worry about the -4. Just put the Bears in as the boost in my 3-leg parlay. All about the home side, just winning the game. Not interested in trying to complicate it. I want to beat up on the Panthers just because they won. Last week we got value. I think this week we're getting value again.
So we're using both the Seahawks and the 49ers in this money line parlay with the Bears?
Correct.
And you're getting +154. +150.
Looks good on paper, doesn't it?
It does. +154 available right now at Pinnacle. That is the Seahawks, 49ers, Bears money line parlay. He has a Seahawks, 49ers 6-point teaser at -1 and -1 on each side. I'm sorry to hear that, Kong. That sucks. Sucks. Just try to let it go. You're back doing what you love, capping with the fam. Sorry to hear that you had to go through that, my man. That sucks. But remember that you're back doing what you love again, and just completely let that go. Don't waste any energy. Don't give them a second of your energy. Buffalo money line at +105. Baltimore Ravens money line at -130. Flash, thank you so much for making time for us, my friend. Where can our friends, fans, colleagues see you this week at BetUS? What's going on?
Yeah, no shows this week. It's international break. So you are going to be very pleased that I'm going to spend 7 days looking through all the horses from all the 9 races on the Breeders' Cup. Every horse who's pre-entered will be in my little cachet. And then we will nail it down. And then basically I should have maybe 2 or 3 contenders per race before I get to sit with you on Breeders' Cup Day, if invited.
Oh, heavily invited. A must-have, Flash. A must-have. Thank you so much for rocking with us. Everybody, please support our friend Flash on X at Flash_37. Great friend of the channel. Great friend of the show. A great friend of mine. Flash, thank you so much for making time for us, my man. Any last words for the cappers supporting the show?
Yeah, even if you're not with me, I hope you cash.
Oh, look at that. That's the nicest thing I've ever heard him say. That caught me by surprise. I was waiting for the open hand slap in the face. Didn't come. That's our guy, Flash, representing BetUS, rocking with us. Thank you for your time and energy and angles, my friend. We move on to our next guest. Our next guest making his NFL Pub Hub debut. We had the pleasure of rocking with him at Pubapalooza 3, and what a class act, quality guy, great capper, just perfect addition to the squad. I love this man. Please welcome NFL Pub Hub debut for Mr. Nuke Worker in the house. Nukey, baby, what's good, my man?
Good morning, Jimmy. Can you hear me?
You sound good, Nuke. You sound
All right.
good, my man. You sound
All right.
good.
I know we're probably running a little late, so let's get down to business.
Let's get down to business, Nuke. Bills, Texans. We've already set it up. How are you getting paid?
Okay, well, I've only got one play on this game. Basically, I'm doing the Bills. Team total over 27.5 plus 210. The reason I like this bet is the first 3 games they were averaging 37 points a game before that massacre last week in Baltimore. And I believe Buffalo is the top 5 red zone offense, and Houston might be bottom 5 red zone defense. So I'm just thinking, that they can put up some points today, and I'll just do the team total over 27.5. Keep it simple, plus 210.
You got it, plus 210 for the Bills team total over, taking their defense out of it. Kent Davies says he's on Houston, says the line move is telling. And I'm the opposite, Kent Davies. I think the opening line is what was telling. The opening line for the Texans at home, the undefeated at home Texans. I mean, however you write the script for the line movement, trust the way you see it. But that I was the opposite. I thought, wow, really? Bills are going to be 1-point favorites in Houston after that debacle in Baltimore. But let's see how it bangs out. Kent Davies on Houston, Harold Williams on Houston, and just my 2 cents in the house took the Bills money line with Knobs odds boost at plus 120. Just my 2 cents. One of the stars of our hit podcast, Locker Room Podcast, UFC 307 last night. I love it. Just my 2 cents. We need you on here, man. Let's get you on here one of these weeks if you're available. Bills team total over 27.5 for Nuke Worker getting started. Then we move on to Panthers, Bears, Soldier Field, Chicago, Illinois, 71 Fahrenheit, sunny, 13 miles per hour. We just talked about this spot as we heard Flash taking the Bears on the money line. What a fishy low line for. Oh, no, he didn't. He just took the Ravens. My bad. Who just did the Bears? My bad. I'm tripping.
He talked about that game for sure.
Yeah, sorry. Let me go back and grab it. My bad. I am tripping. I thought I had it, but while I find who was moving on it, take us away here, Nuke. How are you moving on Bears Panthers?
Okay, again, I've got a player prop here. I like DeAndre Swift anytime touchdown at plus 137. I think because Carolina's defense is hurting bad, and they lost, I believe, 2 linebackers last week. I believe that the Bears may be able to move the ball on them. And basically, I'm just hoping once they get down inside the red zone, they hand them the ball. And that's my thinking on that game. The Bears, like I said, the Panthers are hurting on defense. This game is going to be, I want to say a coin flip, but this game could go either way. So there's no way I'm picking a side. I'm not doing good on sides this year anyway. So my play is going to be DeAndre Swift anytime touchdown plus 137. Now, I don't know what it is now, Jimmy. I got it at 137.
Okay. Well, I'll take
it
a look.
Might be 130 now.
I'll take a look and see what it is. But we can lock in that plus 137. Nuffler said you closed the screen too fast on Flash. Here, the punchline coming. Oh, I didn't. That's not my. I got my man Jose on the 1s and 2s hooking us up. Look, maybe he just wanted to be kind to us. Do you ever think of that? Maybe he just wanted to be kind to us. Not Flash. Cheer for us. Swift anytime touchdown plus 137 for the Nuke Worker. Next up, Dolphins Patriots. So, and that was Flash who's using in the money line parlay. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. It was a fun weekend at the casino, so I'm still sweating out the sauce. Dolphins Patriots Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. I moved on unders first half and full game. The full game's gone against me. The first half's gone with me. And then we heard Rigu off the top giving Patriots money line and the team total over 17.5 for the Patriots. Nuke, how are you handling this one?
Well, like Rigu said, he opened it up the show. He opened up with this game, and I basically I'm following him. I don't have to say too much. He said it all already. Where I'm going with this game is Patriots money line, even plus 100. This like most guys have said, this is a dog fight. This is a bum fight. I mean, call it what you want and flip a coin. If you're, there's no real reason that anybody can tell me why they're taking a team. I just think with the quarterback situation with Miami, Brissett is more experienced for New England. I think he can guide them, whereas the other two quarterbacks are what do you call them, Huntley and I can't trust them at all. So I'm just going to go money line plus 100 on the Patriots and let the chips fall where they may, I guess.
Let's get, and you can get that at plus 110 right now. This line continues to move towards the Miami Dolphins.
Yes.
Young native,
and that's concerning. It's been moving for sorry, Jimmy. It's been moving for a couple of days now. Originally, I think it was -1 New England at one point. Back when?
No doubt it is.
So anyway, I'll take the one. What'd you say?
Plus 110.
110. Okay, I'll take the 110. Patriots money line.
You are locked on Patriots at plus 110, all plus money spots here on Nuke's card. Nuke finishes it up with Cowboys Steelers. Nuke, my man, Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Take it away.
Okay, I've got two plays on this game. They're both player props. The first one is Lamb, 30 yards or over, yarded like a reception, longer, 30 yards or longer, plus 155. CD Lamb.
All right, let's get that. Take it away. What's the next one, my man?
Yeah, the other one is, and I don't really know. I've talked myself off it on it, but I'm going to ride with Fields over 47.5 yards, minus 110. I'm just hoping that somewhere along the line, he can break a hole and get a couple of plays. And over the course of the game, I'm thinking he might be able to get 47.5. But the CD Lamb play is he's had a over 30 yard reception every single game this year. I think his longest was 65. Another one was 54. So he's just doing what he does. And if he does what he does, then I'm going to cash. So that was my reasoning on Lamb.
I get it. And I took off the Fields over 47.5 rush yards prop. I know he's gone 57 2 of the 4 games, but
other two, he was atrocious.
Yeah, and I was like, do I really want to have everything hanging on it? And I was like, I guess I don't. I would prefer to have the anytime touchdown, and that's what I used. But I was breaking that down, trying to figure that out as well. What was the juice on the longest reception, 30 or plus?
Plus 155. That was at 365. Now that was last night. So I don't know today what it is. I haven't looked today, Jimmy. I'm not sure, but I got it at plus 155 last night.
It's all good.
Longer than 30 yards.
Yeah, 30 or more.
30 or longer, sorry.
Yeah. You got it. New worker. Justin Fields over 70 or 47.5 rush yards. Longest reception 30 or plus. That's plus 155 for the 30 or more. And over 47.5 is minus 110. Then Nuke's on the Patriots money line at plus 110. DeAndre Swift anytime touchdown at plus 137. And Bills team total over 27.5 at plus 210 for the Nuke worker. Please support our guy Nuke on X. Love having him. He's going to be on our Monday night live streams as we move throughout the season. I'll pop the Nuke Workers Twitter handle right here. Please support our guy. Nuke, thank you for rocking with us, man. Get that cash. Any last words for the Capper supporting the show?
Thanks for having me. And everybody out there, let's have a day.
Let's have a day. The Nuke Worker in the house. Joseph Thompson here as well. Great to see you, Joseph Thompson. Making overs. Great again. Speaking of making overs, great again. We have not been in touch with Noli Knows. Noli Knows is supposed to be on the show. We have not heard from Noli Knows. So we have a ringer coming in. We might have LJ ready to go as well. LJ's backstage. He's supposed to be closing up the show, but we'd love to have LJ up soon if LJ's good. But let's bring on your next guest. Opening up his account here with us on NFL Pub Hub, the producer of the show, coming to us from San Antonio, Texas, home of the Southtown 101 and home of the Alamo Card Show that we are a big part of. We're going to have our seat and table at the Alamo Card Show, and Jose will be hosting from here. Anybody looking for a table in the Alamo Card Show, hit that email at the bottom of the screen. It's going to be really fun. Pub Sports Radio going to be there in person. Please welcome Jose Bouquet to the show. Jose, how are you, my friend?
Good, Jimmy. I shit my pants this weekend, so
I heard.
Much better than that day.
Yeah, congratulations on all your successes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, soiled myself this weekend, but can't complain.
No, nothing to complain about.
We're back.
Jose, my friend, what game are you attacking here, subbing quickly for our guy Noli Knows?
Sure. I'll quickly just touch over some games I like here. I'm obviously on these stupid fucking Jets. They piss me the fuck off. I'm on them, but whatever. I live bet them overtime as well, which really pissed me off that they made a field goal. But quickly, I'll talk about Dallas-Pittsburgh. Like Pittsburgh here, all the money on Dallas, 70+% of the bets and money on Dallas. And the line moved a half point. I keep wanting to say runs, but half point towards Pittsburgh still. And it's not like baseball in the aspect where it's like, oh, we've got like 10,000 bets. These are a shitload of bets in the NFL, obviously. And we got 70% on one side. It's always kind of a red flag for me. So I like the Steelers here. I'll make them official ATS -3. That's perfectly good with me. So we can do that. -110 is fine.
But we can get you -2.5 at -114 right now on Pinnacle.
Beautiful.
Let's give you the best lines that are available right now across the board as we do for others. So Steelers -2.5, -114 for Jose Bouquet. Jose, what's next?
Yes, and you'll notice a trend in all of my bets here, it seems. I like one division, I guess. Next, Cleveland, Washington. I saw that your papa sent in a bet on the Manders here. I think that the Manders are just going to be the public spot that everyone loves to bet this week. Jaden Daniels, his breakout, et cetera, when actually it might be Caleb Williams looking the best rookie quarterback this week. So, give me the Bengals here. Browns, excuse me. I was looking at the wrong thing. Give me the Browns here, +3. I like what they can do defensively. And I'll just pray to God that the good Deshaun Watson shows up again. The more weeks he plays, I guess the better he'll get. But it's just I'll trust him here. So give me Cleveland Browns +3.
Cleveland Browns +3. This does feel like a Joe versus Pros spot. It's funny. I was shocked to see it move to the 3 here. You get the +3. We can get that for you at -108 at Heritage. What's next for you, Jose?
The aforementioned Cincinnati Bengals. Again, I just like one division, it seems, against the Baltimore Ravens. This is down to a 1 now. We had 2.5s, I believe, the whole week, Jimmy.
Crazy.
So that was my green flag. Cincinnati Bengals win this game. I'll just take them on the money line to make everyone's life easier here. 43% of the bets, 61% of the money on the Bengals here. I said it on Thursday. This is a kitchen sink game. We need to throw everything here. The trick plays, the double passes, everything here for the Bengals. So give me the Cincinnati Bengals to win this game.
Bengals at +117. So we have Steelers -2.5, Browns +3 at -108, Bengals +117. Is there anything else on your card, Jose, my man?
Yes, I will quickly touch on Monday night. And I'm sorry for going a little out of order, everyone.
It's all good.
Monday night, Kansas City Chiefs, New Orleans Saints. I think the Chiefs just love playing in the spotlight here. The lights are on them. Travis Kelce. I'm not going to bet this. I do have one touchdown prop I will give out in one more game which our friend LJ from H-Town, I'm almost positive he's on. I'm almost positive we're on the same touchdown prop. But I don't know. The Chiefs are going to win this game, and they're going to do it by a big number. So Chiefs minus 5.5 for me. I think Travis Kelce scores a touchdown in this game. Why? Because it's prime time. We know we're going to get the shots of T Swifty in the box as well. Travis and that mustache score. The Chiefs name their number here, and they cover the 5.5.
There was just a big move back to the Ravens.
Oh boy, that's not good.
So the plus 2.5 now on the Bengals is plus money.
What?
Yeah.
What? It went from 1 to 2.5?
Yeah. A
Oh,
big
my
move. The
Lord.
money line just went from plus 117 to plus 128.
Good Lord. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm still taking the Bengals, but good fucking God. That
And
is
so-
crazy.
A huge move just happened. So do you want
I'll take money line still.
Okay, plus 128 we'll give you there. And then sorry, I was caught up with that giant line move taking place.
Yeah.
Your final spot is we can give you a Chiefs minus 5 at minus 111. Minus
Yes.
5, minus
All
111.
right, and I'll touch on two things real quick.
Sure.
Player prop I like. We can make it official. I again call my shot now. I'm guessing LJ's on it. I don't know his action. Stephon Diggs, revenge game. Touchdown for Stephon Diggs today. We can make that official as well. I saw it around 200. Obviously, you guys let me know what you guys as well. And Nasty Nate is right. I did bet on the Jets today. Doubled up spread and money line. And I took overtime just now as well, like a fucking dumb bitch, Nasty Nate. But yes, Stephon Diggs touchdown. And my last one, Jimmy, you know why Sundays are special to me. Because a couple years ago, I termed my favorite parlay the friends and family parlay. And for 2 years, my friends in my gambling group chat, the guys that I grew up with, we all put together one play, and we've tried to hit a parlay for 2 years now. And we've done it once in the 2 years. We've gotten very close this year. We've hit 4 to 5 legs several times. And I will give out friends and family here for everyone here today. Jimmy, we can make this official as well for record-keeping purposes. I'll send you the odds for it so you don't have to put it in. But it is Brandon Ayuk over 60.5 receiving yards. Jaden Daniels over 50.5 rushing yards. Waddle over 34.5 receiving yards. The Pittsburgh Steelers money line, which was my addition. Matt Gay over 1.5 field goals. T. Higgins over 52.5 receiving yards. And Roshan Johnson over 29.5 rushing yards there as well. Jimmy, it's around plus 10,000. I will send you, obviously, the ticket and everything, or the odds, so we can make it official. But that is friends and family. And it's nice to be on this program, Jimmy. You know, I'm never on it. By the way, baseball plays. I'm going to be on both the dogs here today, but no totals, just Mets again and Padres again. But yes, it's nice being on the program. It's nice seeing you. Let's restart the counters, everyone, because I shit myself this weekend, so we have to mark it down. Days without shitting themselves. I think I'm at 2 now, so God bless you all, and make sure that those counters get reset.
They have reset. I'm surprised that he's tying us into the streak of losses with friends and family, his friends and family, but he's doing it. I like his looks, though. Steelers minus 2.5, Browns plus 3, Bengals money line, Chiefs minus 5, Diggs anytime touchdown, and the miracle friends and family parlay that he'll be putting in here. Let's roll. We're going to go on to our next guest. Our next guest coming to us from Houston, Texas. He has had a great start to the season here. He's 4th out of 20 cappers, 7-5 plus 1.51 units. Please welcome our guy, LJ from H-Town. LJ, what's good, man? How are you?
What's going on, Jimmy? Happy football Sunday morning to you. So let's get right to it and get this money.
Let's do that, LJ, my man. We have Bills Texans, your Houston Texans. This is a huge game. I'm very interested to hear your thought process around it. Take it away, Bills Texans.
Yeah, Jimmy. Right off the bat, I was concerned about Joe Mixon not being able to go in this game because we really need him as far as the Bills, Rush defense is lacking. To give up 156 yards on the ground, 5.7 yards per play rushing. So that put me off the game for us to side, just because I think CJ is going to have a lot of passing opportunities. Buffalo wants him to pass. So I don't know. I have to see this offense, click without the run game, because I think it's very, very adamant that they have that. And plus, the Bills are coming off an embarrassing loss on national TV. So I believe they're live today, So I stayed off the side. I'm just going to stick to the under, Jimmy. I took the under 47.5. Bills are under 14 out of their last 18 games on the road. And CJ Stroud is 8-2 to the under at home since he's been the starter. So I just see a low-scoring game, Jimmy. Field goals here and there. Buffalo is live, and I believe they possibly will pull this game out. And I'm still concerned about the penalties with Houston. 35 penalties, 296 yards the last 3 games. They're going to have to clean that up, because that's something that's putting them, behind the 8 ball. And CJ Stroud is in long passing games, 4th and 12. 2nd and 10, 3rd and 15. That gets, that hinders your offense, over the course of a game. So until I see them improve on these penalties, man, Buffalo's a good enough team to stay with Houston today and possibly win. So I'm just going to stick to the under 47.5.
Well, we can get you an under 48 right now, which we will do. Under 48 at Pinnacle, under 48 at -108. So we have a look on that huge football game. That one pops off in 33 minutes. We got LJ from H-Town in the house. LJ, next up, Ravens, Bengals. This is interesting. We've heard cappers on screen on either side. We've seen cappers in the chat on either side. Can you break the deadlock? What's your plan for Ravens, Bengals?
I am on the Ravens, Jimmy. I'm on them early. I'm going to take the first half. Minus the half is still, I believe, 105 is what I got. You might could find a better number, but I'm on the Ravens early, man. They tend to proven that they come out early against these teams, and they have good history versus the Bengals early often. The Ravens are 9-1 against the spread in the first half on the road since going back to last season. And when I looked up the matchup versus the Bengals, they're 8-1-1 straight up in the first half with a +8 point margin, since Lamar Jackson starts. So plus the Bengals are 0-2 against the spread in the first half at home. Also 0-2 versus the AFC already as well. So I believe the Ravens come out early, get on the Bengals. I was looking at Derrick Henry touchdown as well. But I'm just going to, for show purposes, I believe the offense is just much better, and I believe the defense is much better as far as on the Ravens side. And what we saw last week, man, that offense is humming. Flash explained it to you about all the misdirections and all that they're going through. So I believe they're going to come into this divisional matchup and make a statement early. So Ravens, first half, minus the half.
Minus a half. It's available right now at -113. Next up for LJ is Browns Commanders. And we've talked about this one a little bit, but not enough. I was explaining that my pops did send in, and we're going to talk about it twice here to close out the show, because our next guest, Kong's Clips, is also talking Browns Commanders. So we haven't talked about this one yet. My dad did send in 300 on the Commanders. What confused me was my dad was offered, he could add, -3.5 at -102 or -3 at -120. I mean, the line was clearly moving to the Browns. It's moved further. And he took the 3.5 at -102. I mean, I just thinking that this is just a ridiculous line that makes no sense. And I mean, are the bookies out here making mistakes? We have Chubb not ready to come back. Jordan Hicks out. Nyheim Hines out. And offensive tackle James Hudson out, sort of a backup tackle, but a useful one. And then is Conklin and Jedrick Wills going to be in the lineup? We expect Njoku to be in the lineup. So there's the situation there for the Commanders. Cleveland Farrell still out, but the the defensive pass rush has looked better in the last couple of games, even with him unavailable. And then Brian Robinson Jr. dealing with a knee injury, questionable. Let's get into this line history here. Again, we have Kong's Clips rocking this game as well. This totals at 43.5. It opened up at 43.5, got up to 44.5, then dropped to 43.5. And on the spread, as I said, this line's just been moving towards the Browns. Feels like, we had Birdie talk about this having a pros versus Joes feel to it. The -3 at -116 was the opening line for the Commanders. It moved to 3.5. It's come back to 3. You can have the Commanders -3 right now at even money. No vig. I mean, that's just absolutely mind-boggling to me. And then we have the cash flow. We have 49% of the tickets and 46% of the cash on the Commanders. So there's a lot of people that are believing in this Browns spot. 81% tickets, 74% cash on the over. I mean, the Commanders have looked absolutely dynamite, and yet this line moves to the Browns. Take it away, LJ. Can you find sense in this market move and this expectation for the Commanders not to keep destroying the opposition?
No, I don't see it at all. I mean, they may know something we don't know, but hey, I'm gonna fall for it. I took Washington, but I'm gonna focus early simply because both of these teams score early, Jimmy. Browns have scored on their first possession in every game. Washington has scored in their last 15 straight quarters. So I'm going to focus on the first quarter over 7.5 plus 100 is what I got. And I got both teams to score in the first quarter plus 155. And like I mentioned, 3-1 to the first quarter, over 9.5 is what the Browns are. The Washington last 3 first quarters, they went over 9.5. And I just see early scoring. I don't see how the Browns are alive in this game simply because their offense is pathetic for the most part. They've lost by 3 out of their last 4 games. They've been under their team total in all 4 of their games. So I don't know what the books are seeing. I see Washington, pretty much destroying this team, points, yards per play, rush, red zone, time of possession. Washington has improved in pretty much every single offensive category since last year. And I like Jane Daniels. He's a baller. I like the poise he has in the pocket. He can make all the throws. He can run, take off if he needs to. And I just believe the offense is clicking. And for what I see on Cleveland, they're going to have to show me that they can at least move the ball because everything I have wrote down is all red for as negative. And they give up more points than they score. So all that said, I'm on Washington and Cleveland. I'm on the, like I said, first quarter over 7.5 plus 100. And I'm on both teams to score in the first plus 155.
You got them both locked in. So can you just touch on, and I know we have one more game and then Kong's Clips as our final guest here. But the market move towards the Browns, although it didn't make sense to you, you're not putting cash on against it. You're not saying the books are wrong here. So you do have some faith in this books opening up their arms right now to Commanders' money. It was enough to keep you off the side.
Yeah, because the game could be close. Cleveland may show us something today that they haven't showed, but I'm just going to stick to what I've been seeing consistently because I see a lot of points in this game. It could go over, but a turnover here and there can swing the game in Cleveland's favor, and they may end up, keeping it close and pulling it out. So I'm just going to stay off. I'm on Washington for as a bet, but I'm not making it official for the show. I'm on Washington for a game. I've already took the 3, but official show purposes, I'm just going to focus on the first quarter.
You've got it locked in, my friend. Your last spot on the board before Kong's Clips joins us. Green Bay Packers, LA Rams, SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. We've already set this one up. Take it away, my man.
Yes, sir. McFleur versus Sean McVay, Jimmy. This is history right here, and I attack this game a lot. LaFleur is 4-0 versus McVay already. And the fact that the Rams defense is just decimated for as points, yards allowed, yards per play, rushing and passing. They are at the bottom of the league in every single category on defense. And the Packers offense is just humming. I mean, they're averaging 26, 235 passes, 174 rushing, third downs, 5 out of 13. So they're moving the ball. Jordan Love's back in that lineup. And I'm looking at the Packers to put up a lot of points in this game. I'm on the 3, Jimmy. I took it full game. I believe they start off early and often. I just think the Rams are in a bad situation right now. A lot of injuries they're dealing with, and I don't believe they're going to be able to overcome this great Packers offense coming in today. So I'm all on the Packers minus the 3, and I'm on a prop. I'm just going to give it to you. Jordan Love, I took his over 1.5 passing touchdowns, and I parlayed it with Jaden Reed over 78.5 receiving yards. Let me fact check that, Jimmy. I'm sorry, I didn't have
no
that.
worries. Yeah, grab that. Packers minus 3 right now is down to minus 103 at Pinnacle. It's just wild how the Packers, the Commanders, if you want to bet them, books are opening up their arms right now. Very, very wild. So here we go. Jordan Love over 1.5 passing touchdowns, and Reed over. We'll get that number here in a second. We think it's 78.5 or close to. He's also on the first quarter over 7.5 in Cleveland, Washington. Both teams to score at plus 155. Ravens first half -0.5 at minus 113, and the under 48 minus 108 in Bills Texans. LJ, did you get that number?
I'm getting it right now. Jordan Reed over 73.5 receiving yards, and the parlay is plus 164.
Plus 164 for our guy, LJ. LJ right now ranked 4th out of the 20 NFL Pub Hub cappers we've had on this show. 7-5 plus 1.51 units, making his 3rd appearance here with us. LJ, talk to us and let everybody know about the Raw Words podcast, where they can find it. And I'm going to pop your Twitter handle here in the chat. Thank you for all that you do for us, my man. But tell us about Raw Words.
Yes, sir. YouTube right now, LJ from Houston, or you could just type in Raw Words Podcast. Streaming right now. I put up my prop show early this morning. I gave all my props. I had a prop for every single game today, Jimmy. So it's up right now on YouTube, Raw Words Podcast, or you could just type in LJ from Houston. It'll come right up. Go like, go subscribe, share the video, all that good stuff. And of course on Twitter at LJ Sports Media. Follow me. All my content I put up. I put all my plays. I'm going to tweet my plays out that I just put out right here on Jimmy with the Bag. And of course, Jimmy, like I always say, I'm glad that you let me join you each and every time. And let's continue to keep cashing, my guy.
Let's join for our big live stream if you're available. I know that you get up at 3 a.m, so just little. But this your Texans. Are you going?
I haven't decided yet.
Okay,
I'm waiting on somebody to let me know if they're going to come get me, because I don't want to drive down there in that traffic. So, but I will join you tonight. I have to have time tonight on the live stream. Yeah,
I love it. I love it. There he is, our guy LJ from H-Town. Oh no, you can rock it, man. Rock it.
Pub Sports Radio's the crew, that's a fact. We all about bread, making bank accounts fat. Who the hell is that? LJ from the H, I stack green like Boston. Shout out to Nasty Nate from down south, where we ride on slab. 420 highway smoking with that boy Dabby Cab. Swing by Dallas with them Cowboy fans so we can smoke out J Money, cause you know that's our mans. Us against the bookies, put money in our pockets. Fly out to Vegas, meet up with Ski Profit. Hit the sports books, we got money to stack. Can't forget them college picks with that boy Connor Mack.
Let's bring on our final guest here of the show. Then we'll review all action. He's been an absolute monster on the gridiron, destroying college football on Saturdays with our guy Dabby Cab. So we brought him over for Sundays, rocking with us for the second time. Love capping with them. Please welcome Kong's Clips to the show. Kong, how are you, my man?
What's up, Jimmy?
What's happening, dude? I heard you had a tough start to the day, but let's put it behind us. It's football time now, man. Let's not waste any energy on that. We got you here right now. We're starting with Bills Texans, Kong. So take it away, my man. What's going on? What's going on? What's your action?
Yeah, let's put that behind us. LJ killing it. That little intro, bro, it gets me hyped. I get so hyped when I hear that intro. All right, so let's go to Buffalo, Houston. I'm going to be on Nico Collins today for a touchdown. Getting that at, I think it was plus 115. I'm going to be on Nico Collins, 79.5 receiving yards today. He's a big receiver. I love Nico Collins. Could easily be a number 1 in the league. We're going to be on my famous first quarter receiving yards for Nico Collins. It's at 12.5 at minus 110. I'm going to be on Dalton Kincaid again, first quarter. 4.5 receiving yards, minus 115. That's one catch. Josh Allen loves his tight ends. He's going to get him the ball. So I expect these scripted plays. I hit him again this morning on Justin Jefferson and brain fart. Jets receiver Wilson
Birds.
Hit them both this morning. Yeah. So we're gonna go to it again. These scripted plays, they're finding their playmakers on the first drive of the game. If not, they get another drive in the first quarter. Prop to hit. So Kincaid, first quarter, 4.5 receiving yards. Then I'm gonna hit. Go ahead.
Keep rolling.
Keon Coleman. His first quarter receiving yard is a half at plus 100. So you're telling me this kid makes one catch, I cash at plus 100? I'm on it. Going to James Cook, first quarter rushing yards, 13.5. That was at minus 110. And then I'm going to Josh Allen, 5.5 first quarter rushing yards at minus 104. That's how we're getting paid in that game. I think the Bills can win this game, but I can't put money on it to bet against the Texans.
It's a tricky spot with all of the injuries, but we've watched you destroy these first quarter props, and our guy Kong's clips at it again. Nico Collins, anytime touchdown plus 115. What was the juice on the over 79.5 receiving yards for Nico?
Minus 110.
Minus 110 there. Nico Collins, first quarter over 12.5 receiving yards and minus 110. Dalton Kincaid over 4.5 first quarter receiving yards and minus 115. Keon Coleman over a half receiving yard at even money. Cook over 13.5 first quarter rush yards at minus 110. And Allen over 5.5 first quarter rush yards at minus 104 for our guy Kong's clips. We move on to Colts Jaguars. That's the next spot on the board for you, Kong. Take it away.
All right. So back to the first quarter props. Brian Thomas Jr. I've been cashing his first quarter prop. I'm at it again. It's at 6.5 minus 110. So I'm on it. I'm also going to be on Brian Thomas Jr.'s full game receiving yards, 55.5. It is minus 110. And then Christian Kirk, 6.5 first quarter receiving yards, minus 106. I kind of like Indy here, but again, I couldn't bet it. Been fading Jacksonville. It's been working out this season, but I couldn't get to a window on the side here.
I like it. Focusing again on first quarter receiving yards for Brian Thomas Jr. and Christian Kirk, each over 6.5 first quarter receiving yards, minus 110 for Thomas, minus 106 for Kirk, and then Brian Thomas over 55.5 receiving yards at minus 110 for Kong's clips. We move on to Browns Commanders. We've already set this one up. Just last spot with our guy LJ from H-Town. LJ has moved on the first quarter over 7.5 and both teams to score in the first quarter. So I'm sure he's hoping to hear first quarter receiving props or rush props in this one. Take it away, Kong. What's your plan?
Absolutely. We'll go to the side on this one first. How do you not bet Washington? This kid, Jaden Daniels, coming to the league, and he's tearing it up. His skills have translated from the college level to the pro level. And Washington looks really good. So I'm going to be on Washington. Minus the 3. I also like them in the first half. I haven't bet it, but I did bet the Washington full game. So the first quarter receiving yards, we're going to go to Zach Ertz. It's at a half, plus 100. One catch gets me there. I'm on it. Usually anytime I see those halves, I just grab them. Also going to be on Jaden Daniels for touchdown, plus 145. He's been getting to the end zone, so I'm on it again.
You are locked and loaded. Commanders minus 3 at plus 100. Zach Ertz, first quarter over a half receiving yard at plus 100. Jaden Daniels, anytime touchdown plus 145. That's all your action for Browns Commanders, my man?
Yes, sir.
Then we move on to the final spot on the board before we review all action here. The final spot for you, Kong, is Giants Seahawks, Lumen Field in Seattle, Washington. We've already talked about this spot being used by a couple cappers with the Seahawks, especially our guy Flash. He's anchoring it for a money line parlay and anchoring it for a teaser. Take it away for us, Kong. Giants, Seahawks.
All right. So the Giants being without the receiver here, I like the Seahawks. So I'm going to lay the points with the Seahawks. Then we're going to go back to the first quarter receiving yards here. DK Metcalf, minus 106 for 10.5 first quarter receiving yards. Typically, that's one catch for DK. And I'm going to try something new here in this game because I just found the props. You can ladder these first quarter receiving props. So I'm going to go with DK for 20 first quarter receiving yards at plus 182. And then we're going to go with DK for 25 first quarter receiving yards for plus 250.
Plus 250 for DK. First quarter over 10.5 receiving yards, minus 110. First quarter 20 or more at plus 182. And first quarter 25 or more at plus 250. We're also giving you the Seahawks. But you can have, there's been a slight, well, at the 7. Well, you can have the Seahawks minus 7 at plus 102 or minus 6.5 at minus 112.
Give me the 7. We'll take the 7. I don't see the Giants scoring here, Jimmy.
Minus 7 at plus 102 here for the Seahawks. Metcalf receiving props. Anything else you're adding to Giants Seahawks?
That's got it, brother.
There is our guy Kong's clips. We have master class action from him in college football as well as the UFC. Kong made his debut with us 2 weeks ago, his second appearance here on NFL Pub Up. I'm going to pop Kong's Twitter handle into the chat. Please support our guy Kong's clips. Kong, thank you for rocking with us, my man. Quick review of his action here. We have the Seahawks minus 7 at plus 102. DK Metcalf, first quarter over 10.5 receiving yards at minus 110. 20 or more at plus 182. 25 or more at plus 250. Then the Commanders minus 3 at even money. Ertz, first quarter over a half reception, or after, over a half receiving yard at plus 100. And Jaden Daniels, anytime touchdown, plus 145. Brian Thomas Jr., first quarter over 6.5 receiving yards. Brian Thomas Jr. over 55.5 receiving yards on the game. And Christian Kirk over 6.5 receiving yards in the first quarter at minus 106. Then in the Bills Texans game, a very important game to Kong. Nico Collins, anytime touchdown, plus 115, over 79.5 receiving yards, minus 110. And then first quarter, over 12.5 yards for Nico. First quarter, over 4.5 for Kincaid. First quarter, Coleman, over a half yard. And then James Cook, over 13.5 first quarter rush yards for our guy Kong's clips. Kong, I'm sorry about the trouble from this morning, but forget about it. Football time, man. Now focus on what we love. Don't give any energy to that stuff. We get to rock and watch football and put our money on the line and reap the rewards now, Kong. Thank you for rocking with us and making sure that you did with all the difficulty this morning held. So thank you so much, Kong. Any last words for the cappers supporting the show?
Yeah, shout out to you guys. You guys make this channel rock. Keep tuning in. Be there tomorrow. I'll have some early plays for college football on the sesh with my 5-minute run through. And thanks for the support. Love you guys. Love you, Jimmy. Thanks for this thing.
Love it. There he is. Kong's clips in the house. We just reviewed Kong's action. Let's review the rest of the action here from the cappers in the chat. We will start with LJ from H-Town. LJ gave us the under 48 in Buffalo, Houston. Ravens first half minus a half. The first quarter over 7.5 in Cleveland, Washington. Both teams to score in the first quarter at plus 155. Packers minus 3 at minus 103. Jordan Love over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Jaden Reed over 73.5 receiving yards. The Jordan Love over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Jaden Reed over 73.5 receiving yards. That's a parlay plus 164 for LJ from H-Town. Then we had the Nuke Worker making his NFL Pub debut. Bills team total over 27.5. Alternate line at plus 210. Swift anytime touchdown plus 137. Patriots money line at plus 110. And Lamb longest reception 30 or more plus 155. And Justin Fields over 47.5 rush yards here. Then we have our next capper rocking with us was Flash. He's on Baltimore money line, Buffalo money line, and he's got Seattle 49ers 6-point teaser -1 each way, and Seattle, San Francisco, Chicago money line parlay at +154 for Flash. Justin McKelvie making his NFL pop-up debut gave us CJ Stroud over 9.5 rush yards, Brock Bowers over 49.5 receiving yards. Packers score first and win at +160. Josh Jacobs over 95.5 rushing receiving. That was an alternate line for Justin at +205. And Najee Harris anytime touchdown, and Harris over 89.5 rush and receiving at +195. He also gave us Aces Liberty over 166.5. Then we have Spenny Penny Bombs on Kirk over 51.5 receiving yards, 75 or more at +230. And anytime touchdown at +180. Christian Kirk being backed by Spenny. Javonte Williams over 73.5 rushing receiving and 100 or more at +300. And then Mason over 86.5 rush yards and 100 or more at +160. Jacobs over 67.5 rush yards and over 80 at +146 for our guy, Mr. Bombs himself. Then Big Ragu got us started with Patriots money line at +108. Team total over 17.5 +104. Jaguars -3 at -125. The under 49 at -115 in Baltimore, Cincinnati. Broncos -3 at +103 and -5 at +146. And the under 44 at -109. Team total under 23.5 at -115. And Rams +9. Niners -1 is his teaser here. Looks like wow. Core Clan dropping it again. Respect. The Vikings take care of business, an interception late, and the Jets go down. Benjamin Mills says that's why they're the Jets. Lamont Williams parlay. DK Metcalf over 66.5 receiving yards. Najee Harris over 68.5 rush yards. Josh Jacobs over 66.5 rush yards. And Jaden Daniels over 51.5 rush yards from our guy, Lamont Williams. Thank you for sharing that with us. Lamont, that is a copy and paster, my friend. Thank you, guys. Thank you all for being a part of our NFL Pub Hub. We do this every week. 8 different cappers on the show, giving out their best sides, totals, and player props, and we track everybody's action throughout the season. Core Clan, Cliff Yang, Big O, Andrew G, Benjamin Mills, Von Polo, Cameron Sinnott, Justin McKelvie, Mally Mal, the Truth Teller, Lamont Williams, the Wolverine, Maiden Focus giving us action as well. Downs over 48.5 receiving yards and anytime touchdown here. That gets us started here for our guy, Maiden Focus. Thank you for rocking with us. Thank you for sharing your action. True Teller on Giants team total under 18.5 at -120. Al Cervic, thank you for rocking with us. Harold Williams on the Browns +3. Rob Free, team total over 23.5 for the Houston Texans. Tom Leach on cashing with the Vikes. Nice job. Jermaine, Rob McMahon, thank you guys. Dougie Wise, Swiss Horton in the house. Thank you all for rocking with us. Nasty Nate, the real for real MMA. No Brizzy today, but he'll be back in action with us this week. Our guy Brizzy, he's a solid man. What a great guy he is. Dave Redling, the chillest. Thank you all. Time to go out there and get that cash. I'm not making any additions. I tell you what, though, this huge market move towards the Dolphins. I mean, if I had any X's and O's that went with it, I'd be all over it. I mean, it's a very clear spot. I'm so interested to see this pros Joe's spot with the Browns and Commanders. I just can't wait to see if the pros are right with this Browns move. I'll be sitting back watching from the sidelines. And then Sunday Night Football tonight. Yes, Truth Teller. Let's do it, man. Can't wait to rock with you guys this evening. Starring Big Ragu and many others. Sunday, October 6th, football. I love it. Got the SGP ready to go. Got the pregame action, and I'm ready to live bet and hammer away. Thank you all. Thank you to our producer, Jose Bouquet. Jose Bouquet joined us here, and I forgot to talk about his action here. He's got some nice looks, our man Jose. Steelers -2.5 -114. Browns +3 at -108. Bengals +128. Chiefs -5 at -111. Stephon Diggs anytime touchdown +154. And he has a monster friends and family parlay that he sent to me here that I will be popping into the spreadsheet for young Jose Bouquet, and now he's feeling better. Thank you guys all. Gerald Jones says Vikings win for the Pub Circa crew. Yeah, it's too bad that we didn't get the Broncos too, man. That would have been a nice way to start, but at least that's a nice bounce back. The spots for our circuit contest, we have just cashed Vikings -2.5. We lost Bucks 2.5, but we have the Patriots to pick them, Washington -3, Seahawks -6.5, and we need to win those 3 badly. Craig Wood 1-0 for the day. Live Jets +9.5, and Gerald Jones. I love it. I love that you care about our Pub Circa contest action. Thank you for reminding us that we have a chance at a winning week here. Get back to 500. We're not that far away from it. It's been a tough go so far. If we get back to 500 here, heading into week 6, we're in business. Thank you guys for watching. Go out there and get that cash. Thank you for your support. Can't wait to see you guys tonight on our live stream. Let's get your money. Electric. Hey, los bookmakers, let's get this shit.